Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Blue Ridge Auto Group Truck Series here at Richmond International Raceway. As we get ready for the Huckleberry Bash here as the first race of the playoffs. Let's take a look at our playoff picture coming into tonight. And here is your playoff grid, your top 12. Coming in tonight, Nick Fuller, Devin Buccino, Daniel Wiles, Matthew Fritz, Tyler Aspinall, Jay Stinson, Eddie Morris, Brandon Zimmerman, Riley Gomes, Blaze Richardson, Ryan Gomes, and Joseph Wright. So we'll see the next two races, Richmond and then Nashville Super Speedway. Then we'll cut it down to the round of 8. We'll do Talladega and Kansas, and then we'll have our final 4 for our championship race. It's going to be a great one, so stick around for the next few weeks as we get ready to crown a champion here in the SCSRA Truck Series, brought to you by Blue Ridge Auto Group. Currently up at the top of the leaderboard is the 8 of Eddie Morris. Daniel Wiles, currently the second fastest truck out on the racetrack. Mike Moultrie back in third. Brett Merle, and then Brandon Zimmerman. And you see your playoff drivers, they're highlighted in green. They're going to be highlighted in green both on the ticker and on the tower here, so you'll know where your playoff drivers are. They'll also have the banner, so you see this is Daniel Wiles here. He's got the green banner up on the top of the above his windshield there. That means that he is a playoff driver. Some of the drivers also going so far as to run bright green spoilers as well, so be really easy to pick out. Most of your playoff drivers are a couple drivers I see that didn't get those banners on. You got Ryan Gomes here giving it the full treatment, not just the banner there, but he's got the green numbers as well. So be very easy to pick out our drivers here tonight who are in the playoffs. Here's the 45 of Tyler Aspinall making his laps here, as we have just about 45 seconds before we get practice done and qualifying underway. So just 5 races remain here in the SCSRA to crown a champion. A couple drivers been very consistent all season long. Nick Fuller hasn't won a ton of races, but he's been up in that top 5 most of the season. And see him making a little pit stop practice. Oh, almost loses it getting in the pits. What a pit entrance right there. It's a tough pit road to get onto here at Richmond, especially when you're on hot tires. Mike Moultrie unfortunately missed the race last week due to the rules. If you run less than the 8 required races during the regular season, unfortunately that does eliminate you from the playoffs, and that's what happened to the 24. So that's why you don't see that green banner on that windshield, but that allowed a couple other drivers to make their way in as practice has now concluded. We're getting ready to go qualifying here at Richmond International Raceway. Let's see who our first driver is going to be hit the track. It looks like it's going to be the 17 of Daniel Wiles. Running a little high on that first lap. I was talking to a couple drivers during practice, and this track has a weird seam off of turn number 4. It's really easy to get onto that seam just a little bit. That's you'll see the lines on the track where the different levels or layers of asphalt is put down, and it's really easy to over accelerate right there and loop that truck around. So watch for that here tonight, as that could be a troublesome spot for some of these drivers, as Daniel Wiles jumps up immediately to and then loses off of turn number 2. So he's only get 1 lap in here tonight, as Tyler Aspinall jumps up to the top of the leaderboard currently. He's currently up at the top. Let's see where Michael Proval, he's going to pull off there. Let's see Riley Gomes now coming off of turn number 4, coming to take the white flag on his second lap here. Gomes comes across the stripe. He's going to jump up to the 6th quickest truck. Teammate Ryan Gomes now making his way down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. See these drivers using a lot of brake here tonight, really getting that truck to rotate down into the corner as Gomes comes off of turn number 2, down the backstretch for the final time into turns 3 and 4. Letting that rear end slide out just a little bit. Gets back to the gas, comes across the stripe, and Ryan Gomes is going to move up into the 4th position currently. As one driver really letting hang out. There's Nick Fuller off of turn number 2. Down into turns 1 and 2, currently in the 11th spot. Let's see if he's able to improve here on his second lap. Again, really letting that truck hang out there coming off of turn number 2 down towards turns 3 and 4. And down across the stripe. And Nick Fuller is going to jump up into P3. Going to slot in currently right behind his teammate. As Eddie Morris makes his way off of pit road, he's going to get his qualifying lap underway. And Matthew Fritz just jumped up into the 4th position. Let's see what he's able to do here on his second lap, coming down off of turn number 2. Really wrestling that truck off of turn number 4, and he's going to currently stay in that 4th position. Chuck Balance coming down to take the checker flag on his lap. As Eddie Morris jumps up to the top of the leaderboard on his first lap, then loses it. It's not going to matter because he is currently at the top of the board. Dave Wright coming through turns 3 and 4. I'm sorry, that was 1 and 2. And he does the exact same thing that Eddie did, almost to the T. As we still have a couple drivers left to qualify. Mike Moultrie, Nick Ford, and Devin Butchino still left to qualify. We still have about 5 minutes left here in qualifying, so while we've got a moment, I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or Kick. Do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. I want to thank our great partners, including Blue Ridge Auto Group. For all your new and used car needs, check out Blue Ridge Auto Group down at the link down below in the description. I also want to thank Race EPI. For all your iRacing and coaching needs, check out Race EPI at the link down below. Of course, you can help support our channel by visiting IntensityBroadcasting.com. You can check out Atlee Atman Weese's swag, as well as we have SCSRA swag on there as well, and some Intensity gear. So check all that out down at the link below. And of course, we can't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, they've got more than just great haptics. There's links there to figure out which movie theaters in your area might use Butt Kicker technology to give you that kind of fourth sense at the movies. So you can check all that out over at thebuttkicker.com as we see Mike Moultrie coming off of turn number 4 and across the stripe. See Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence joining us on the YouTube. Mike, good to see you. We'll be giving his words of wisdom all night long. You see the green flag, or white flag now, excuse me, in the air for Moultrie. Coming down through turns 1 and 2 off of turn number 2. And down the backstretch, currently 7th quickest on his first lap. So he's able to find some speed here to knock Eddie Morris off the top spot here. And he will not. He'll slide into the 3rd position. As we see Devin Butchno, who just took the green flag. Butch coming off of turn number 4, coming to take the white flag here. See where he's going to slot himself in on his first lap. Currently 15th fastest. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And across the stripe. And Butch is going to jump up to the 3rd position, moving Mike Moultrie back a spot. And that's going to do it for qualifying. Oh, we just had another driver make his way into the field here. We see Nick Ford currently sitting on pit road, getting ready to qualify. And Richard Hurst just joined the server as well. See if either one of those drivers are able to get into get a lap here. So we got about a minute and a half left here in qualifying. Words of wisdom from Michael Lawrence. You see the red and white thing at the top of the track? Don't hit that. Yeah, that is actually probably one of the harder things to do at this racetrack. Being able to stay off of that wall. It's so easy to, especially off of turn number 4, that wall can easily come out and bite you. So, yeah, definitely something to watch out for as drivers bouncing off the walls all night long here tonight. As we have, we're just about ready to get underway here. About 15 seconds before we drop the green flag here at Richmond International Raceway. Of course, tomorrow night, the Next Gen Series will also be taking on Richmond for their first race of the playoffs. Noma TV will have that one, so you can check that out tomorrow night. Don't hit the pit entrance wall. I know from experience. Yeah, Mike Cheeseburger says that as well. That's, again, as I said earlier, you saw how tough it was to get on the pit road, so we'll watch for that here tonight. As we get ready to take a look at our starting grid, and on pole tonight is the 8 of Eddie Morris, with Tyler Aspinall starting to his outside in position number 2. Devin Butchno will roll off 3rd with Mike Moultrie from the 4th spot. Then Daniel Wiles and Nick Fuller will round out your top 6. Row 4 will be Matthew Fritz and Joseph Wright, with Brandon Zimmerman and Ryan Gomes rounding out your top 10. 11th will be Brett Merle with Michael Provolt from the 12th position. 13th will be Blaze Richardson with Chuck Balance starting from the 14th spot. Riley Gomes starts 15th with Jay Stinson his outside. In 16th, Brian Merle Jr. and David Wright make up row number 9, and rounding out the field on the 10th row will be the 21 of Richard Hurst and the 14 of Nick Ford. As we see the cars getting all lined up and ready to rock here tonight. Again, we get ready for 150 laps. Sorry, I had race control in my ear there for a second. Yeah, we saw a mix-up on the numbers there. Nick Ford is actually the 14 tonight. He should not be, because that is the number that belongs to Tyler Aspinall. So there will be no penalties for Tyler Aspinall for running the wrong number here tonight. So we'll be good with that. So we just wanted to, race control wanted to come in, make sure that we knew about that. And we appreciate David Hartley for his hard work up in the control booth here tonight. As the pace truck starts rolling, these trucks start rolling, and we get ready to warm up these tires and get ready to go here tonight from Richmond. One of the longer short tracks on the schedule. So we see the cars making their way, or trucks, excuse me, making their way down the backstretch. I believe we're going to have 2 pace laps here. I don't think the pace truck's going to pull off just yet. Nope, we are 2 laps here like most short tracks have. You see the length of the track, 3/4 of a mile. You see your weather. Air temperature 77, track temperature 79. It's going to be a great night for racing. But with the new asphalt model, I'm sure we'll see this track start to heat up a little bit. So watch for drivers to start sliding around and looking for grip as the run goes on. So here we go. We're going to rack them up here. Pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And Eddie Morris is going to lead them down to the starting line. And the green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Richmond. And already down into turn number 1, side by side, Tyler Aspinall, Eddie Morris. Morris trying to use that bottom lane, try to get the lead away. He's going to take that top spot away, but here comes Aspinall back up on the high side. We have side-by-side battlings all the way through the track on the first lap. Off of turn number 4, Aspinall is going to have a good run here on the high side as we have caution out on the racetrack. Looks like it's for the 41 of Chuck Balance. Let's go bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. See what we can see here. What happened to Chuck Balance? Coming down the backstretch here. He has a little connection issue. Then he has to jam on the brakes to avoid running into the back of the 95. Gets collected by the 31 of Jay Stinson, one of our playoff drivers. Doesn't look like Stinson has too much damage, though. As we go back live pictures here, we take a look at the 31. Yeah, it looks like he got away with it. We see just a little bit of a crinkle on the right side of that truck. Oh, I take that back. That is just the design of that truck. It looked like the quarter panel was a little separated there from the hood, but that's just a line on the truck. You can see it on both sides and down the back, so it looks like no problems there for the driver of the 31. Brittany S. on YouTube says, hoping for a good race tonight from you guys. Let's go Hurst. As Richard Hurst already down on pit road. Looks like he's topping off the fuel here. These drivers will be able to make it to the stage on fuel. Talking to drivers early in practice, they said that the pit window was somewhere between 70 and 80 laps. With the stage coming at lap 40, these drivers will have plenty of fuel to make it to the stage. But depending on how the cautions fall, we'll have to see how pit strategy could play out here. And this could turn into a fuel mileage race under the right circumstances. We're getting ready for the lights to turn off on the pace truck. We're getting ready to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them here after just one lap of racing. Not much has changed on the leaderboard, just Nick Fuller moving up a spot. A couple drivers in the back moving up a couple spots when Chuck spun there in the rear. So balance is going to be at the tail end of the line now. As the field makes their way down the backstretch. Towards turns 3 and 4. We get ready for the pace truck to make that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing here. Great jump for Eddie Morris getting out in front of Tyler Aspinall this time. Now Devin Butchino looking down to the inside of Aspinall, trying to take over that second spot. You see Mike Moultrie back there as one truck bouncing off the wall. That looked like Nick Fuller bouncing off the wall back there. Able to hold on to it though and keep marching forward as Tyler Aspinall now able to get around Devin Butchino, and he's going to attack Eddie Morris down into turn at number 1. Side by side they go off of turn number 2 for the lead. And teammates from behind, Mike Moultrie and Daniel Wiles, battling it out back there as well. Right now the battle for the lead between Tyler Aspinall and Eddie Morris. Morris using that high lane advantage right now. It's usually you want to be right down on the bottom like you see Tyler Aspinall, but here at Richmond, especially on cold tires, on fresh tires, you have the option to run that high lane. And right now you see Eddie Morris using that high lane to his advantage, but Devin Butchino trying to join this party as well. The low lane through turns 1 and 2, that's where the speed really is, through turns 1 and 2. But as you come off of turn number 4, that high lane starts to have a little bit more of an advantage. As we see the Merry Christmas on the back of Tyler Aspinall's truck as well. Great little touch there for that machine. A little further back, we see Daniel Wiles looking down underneath the 24. As he's trying to get by his teammate, you see Matthew Fritz and Nick Fuller right behind as well, as they do have those playoff banners. You see where your playoff drivers are running. You can also see it up on the ticker as well. Issues for Dave Wright. He's off the pace. Looks like he may have had some issues here just a moment ago. Let's see if we can see what happened to the 84. Oh, just like he did in qualifying, just spun it off of turn number 2, catches the inside wall. Fortunately, nobody around him when that happened, so we were able to stay green as we see the battle for the lead now heating up. As Mike Moultrie's up to the outside of Devin Butchino, trying to take away that 3rd spot. Our top 6 really under a blanket right now as they go down through turns 1 and 2. As they run side by side, it's just so difficult to pass here at Richmond. And you're seeing that right now as Eddie Morris now using that high lane advantage up on the high side to get back around Tyler Aspinall, move himself up into the top spot. But he's got Mike Moultrie right behind. Now Moultrie takes a look down to the inside. Side by side for the lead. Moultrie, Morris off of turn number 2, down towards turns 3 and 4. And you're going to have that high lane advantage off of turn number 4, but the 24, Mike Moultrie, is able to stay right alongside. Not quite door to door, as you saw the 8 had a little bit of the advantage there. And he's going to try to diamond it off the corner a little bit. Try to keep that advantage up on the high side. So we're about 3 laps away from our halfway of our stage. And your battle for the lead is still door to door. As now Devin Butchino takes a look down to the inside. Tyler Aspinall. Aspinall pushes up the track a little bit. Moultrie slips up a little bit too, and Eddie Morris going to take that lead back away. Battle for third heating up as Devin Butchino now able to pull a slide job here up in front of Tyler Aspinall. That's going to allow Daniel Wiles to make a move down to the inside of Aspinall. Aspinall going to try to use that high lane yet again. Right now it's just not working for him as he almost squeezes Devin Butchino. And here comes Mike Moultrie taking another dive down to the inside of Eddie Morris, trying to take over that top spot. We are just about halfway through the stage. Your top 6 contenders. Oh, Tyler Aspinall hard up into the outside wall. Going to lose a couple spots here as he looks like he might have some serious damage to the right side of that truck. I see a little bit of a scrape there, so not sure how much that's going to hurt that 45 machine. Eddie Morris still able to hold off a hard charging Mike Moultrie right behind. While that's going on, Devin Butchino just made a move down to the inside of 24. Was not able to make that stick. He's going to have to fall back in line. Try to see if he can make another run at it here. From the blimp, great view at the battle that's going on here for the top spots. Eddie Morris just able to roll that high side so much better to keep him out in front. It's been a tough year for Eddie Morris, not due to on-track incident, but having PC troubles kept him sidelined for part of the season. Now he's trying to do whatever he can here to win the first race of the playoffs, advance to the next round, and not have to worry about it. We have about 15 laps to go here in the stage. And issues on track. Looks like Nick Ford has looped it around here. Off of turn number 2, yep, just does a great job keeping it off of the wall. But loses a ton of time as the leaders are quickly approaching. And Mike Moultrie going to take another look down to the inside of Eddie Morris, going down into turn at number 3. It's surprising to me that these two can, as Moultrie misses the corner, entering the corner, pushes up the track, almost catches Eddie Morris there. Devin Butchino thought about making a move, taking advantage of that situation, but he tucked back in behind these two. And I was going to say, it's usually about this part of the run where you really start to see these trucks slip sliding around and the grip going away, as we saw Moultrie almost drive up into the side of Eddie Morris. Lawrence says Eddie Stout running that different line. And yeah, he's running that higher lane, that higher line that nobody else has really been able to use. As Moultrie again tries to force Eddie up the track just a little bit, but Eddie's just rolling that high side so well. And that's what's keeping him up in there as we have about 10 laps to go here in the stage. Oh, as Nick Ford has some issues right in front of the leaders. He's able to get down and out of the way. That allowed Devin Buccino to close right in on this battle for the lead, but Eddie's still able to stay up high and keep that momentum moving forward. It's really close as we've seen as Devin thought about making it 3 wide for a second off of turn number 4. Eddie Morris still able to hold on that high side, but how much longer can he hold off on that high side? Right now, he's doing everything he can. And it looks like Moultrie is going to have to tuck back in behind. And as I say that, Moultrie got a little bit of a run off the corner. Here comes Buccino looking 3 wide. 3 wide off of turn at number 4. Buccino's got that position down on the bottom. Moultrie able to cut him off there going down into the corner. And that's also allowed Tyler Aspinall right back into the mix here as he's side by side with Devin Buccino. Our top 5 again under a blanket as we come off of turn at number 4. We have 5 laps to go here in the stage. And Tyler Aspinall's now cleared Devin Buccino. And he's now trying to use that high side to get around Moultrie. Almost gets into the back of Morris. As we've got a 4-truck battle for the top spot here with 4 laps to go in the stage. Now Tyler Aspinall is going to try to make a move down to the inside of Eddie Morris. And Aspinall able to edge out Morris a little bit into the corner, but off of turn number 2, Morris able to use that high lane to get that run yet again. Morris off of turn number 4. He's going to have a clear entry into the corner as Aspinall is going to have to tuck back in line. Here comes Moultrie looking down to the inside of Devin Buccino. Trying to take that 3rd spot as Tyler Aspinall now runs all over the back bumper of Eddie Morris down into turn number 3. Two laps to go left in the stage. Eddie Morris out in front of Tyler Aspinall, who's got his hands full with Devin Buccino. And Buccino is going to try to dive it down into the corner. As we come to the white flag of the stage, Eddie Morris out in front. You see Devin Buccino dives back down to the bottom. Tyler Aspinall bounces off the wall. That's going to give Buccino an opportunity down into turn at number 3. Off the turn number 4, Eddie Morris is going to be your stage winner. Tyler Aspinall is going to bring it home 2nd. Devin Buccino back in 3rd. Mike Moultrie in 4th. Nick Fuller 5th. Then Matthew Fritz in 6th. Daniel Wiles in 7th. Joe Wright back in 8th. Brandon Zimmerman 9th. And Ryan Gomes in the top 10 for points here in the stage. Only one driver not in the playoffs in your top 10. And that is the 24 of Mike Moultrie. As we see the tower here, you can see where your favorite driver finished. And we will wait till pit stops are over before we talk to our drivers, or our stage winner, I should say. As the field makes their way down on the pit road. You see Nick Ford getting the wave around here, get himself back a lap. We'll watch our drivers race off a pit road here. That yellow line right there with the orange bar is the mark, and it looks like some contact there. Eddie Morris gets out in front of Devin Bucciano. Tyler Aspinall, I think, caught the inside wall leaving pit road. We'll have to go back and look at that, but let's get a word in with our stage winner, Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. Oh, hang on, let me unmute you here. You got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How's it going, brother?
Man, awesome. Great to see you back up front, running well. Winning the stage, man, using that high lane that nobody else seemed to be able to get going. What was the secret to using that high line, and is that kind of the, you think that's going to be the play as the race goes on?
I don't know if it'll be the play as the race goes on. I just happened to go up there just to try to, I was trying to, like, just kind of settle in right there and you know, run the race and just log some laps, wait till the stage, and then try to make a run, but it just stuck out there, man, so I went for it. Like, I'm more comfortable on the bottom line, so I don't know, we'll see.
I know you've had the computer issues all season long plaguing you. You're now running up at the top, up at the front here. How's it feel to be leading laps and in that clean air?
Man, it feels real good. Anytime you're out front of one of these things, they're so hard to lead. They're so hard to be there at the end. They're super hard to put a whole race together. So when you're up here and you're, you know, in P1 or towards the top, you don't take it for granted, that's for sure. It feels pretty good. Glad to have the computer back and looking for the rest of the stage.
Well, good luck the rest of the stage out, Eddie. We'll look forward to talking to you at the end.
Thanks, brother.
Have a good night.
You too, man.
As your stage winner, Eddie Morris. I'm trying to go back to when everybody left pit road here and take a look at Tyler Aspinall coming off of pit road. And I think he might have made a little bit of contact with the inside wall here. We'll have to see as he was trying to squeeze down. No, there was no contact there, but man, he got squeezed there leaving pit road, so. Ryan Canuti in the Facebook chat says, go Eddie Morris. So good to see you, Canuti. Glad to see you tuning in here tonight. As we get ready for our second stage here, Eddie Morris getting ready to be your control truck. As the pace truck's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here as the field makes their way down into turn number 1. Devin Bucciano taking a look down to the inside of Tyler Aspinall. Aspinall, almost losing it off of turn number 2. That's going to allow Bucciano to get that momentum down into the corner. He's going to take over that second spot. As Aspinall tries to cross over here to get back down to the inside of Devin Bucciano, and this is what Eddie Morris wants to see in his mirror right now as drivers running side by side, especially in front of Moutre, who was his competition for most of the race. Great battles back here. More playoff drivers. Daniel Wiles, Joseph Wright side by side down into the corner. Wiles trying to use that low lane to move himself forward. We see Matthew Fritz getting around Nick Fuller up into the 5th spot. So move him up 2 spots into 5th. And Tyler Aspinall able to clear Devin Bucciano. He's going to make a run now towards the front. So Eddie said that low lane was where that truck was really working. You see him back down on that low lane. How long will it take him to start moving back up the track? And it seemed like he had so much momentum I don't think he realized how much momentum he had up on that high side. We are now lap 52 of 150, so just under 100 laps to go here. Eddie Morris out in front, dominating this race so far, and he's starting to pull away from Tyler Aspinall. Now, we saw Aspinall in the first run fall back a little bit, and had the momentum in the middle and end of the stage, so we can see that again. This 45 truck kind of just not showing his full hand right here, and letting that truck come to him. So what we gotta say, let's take a moment, crank up the volume in a little segment I like to call pump up the intensity. Issues here for Richard Hurst as he got off pace. Looks like he had some issues here. Let's take a look, see what happened to the 21 underneath Brett Merle. Just a little bit of contact there. Hurst just barely catches that inside wall. Doesn't look like too much damage to the 21, so he'll be able to continue on. And more trouble as Jay Stinson is now on pit road. Let's see what happened to the driver of the 31. We see damage to the right side of that truck, one of our playoff drivers. Ooh, loops it off of turn number 2, catches hard into the inside wall. We've seen that a couple times tonight, so heavy damage to the left front of that machine. Looks like Stinson's going to lose a few laps here. Getting damage fixed up on pit road. We'll battle back here. Joseph Wright trying to run down the 14 of Nick Fuller. Joe up into the 7th position. Trying to continue to move forward here. This would be Joe's home track. Originally from Rochester, New York, but now down in the Virginia, Southern Virginia area, or Northern Virginia, excuse me. Oh, Wiles having some issues there off the corner. We saw a big slide out of that 17. And now this 55 of Brandon Zimmerman making his way down underneath the 17. He's got some damage to the right side of that truck. As Devin Butchno now has Mike Moultrie starting to run him down just a little bit for that third spot. Moultrie tries to make him look up on that high side. Not quite close enough to make that happen just yet. As Eddie Morris continues to pull away, currently has a almost 1 second lead over second place Tyler Aspinall. Looks like Jay Stinson is back off of pit road. He's on fresh tires, trying to work his way around some of these trucks back here. As we see the 9 of Riley Gomes is sideways off the corner. See what those fresh tires are going to do, as he's able to easily go around the high side of Gomes. Back here for the third and fourth position, Devin Butchno, Mike Moultrie continuing to battle it out. While they're doing that, it's allowing Matthew Fritz to slowly make his way up into the picture here as well. Haven't really said much about Fritz here tonight, as Moultrie takes a dive down to the inside of Devin Butchno. Side by side, door to door. This is a battle for third. Much like we've seen a lot here tonight, that driver on the inside just not able to really get the pass completed. A little further back, a little battle going on here between Brandon Zimmerman and Joseph Wright. Zimmerman had a little bit of a run there, but is not able to get alongside Joe Wright. Again, we've seen just how tough it is to pass here. As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark, Eddie Morris up at the top of the leaderboard, running that low lane yet again. But Tyler Aspinall starting to eat into that lead just a little bit. See, both Aspinall and Butchno have been just a little bit faster than Eddie Morris the last few laps. And that trend continues. Butchno's actually starting to pull away from the 24 of Mike Moultrie, who's fallen back into the clutches of Matthew Fritz. Looks like David Wright has retired from the race after his contact with the inside wall. Nick Ford is not retired, but he's sitting on pit road. Now it looks like he is going to retire his truck. So that'll put 2 trucks out of the race here tonight. As Tyler Aspinall is continuing to run down Eddie Morris. here how long it takes Aspinall to get back to the throttle, as now Morris is going to start pushing himself up the track a little bit. See if he can find a little bit of grip up on that high side where he was having so much luck earlier. Take a look off the back bumper of Eddie Morris. As Tyler Aspinall makes a dive down to the bottom. Morris is able to pull him off for now, as Devin Bucciano now right into the mix here as well. Eddie not able to get back to the throttle. Now Aspinall looking down to the inside of Eddie Morris, who's got that run again off of turn number 4. We've seen that all night tonight, where Eddie's been able to make a good run off the high side, especially off of turn number 4. Put our top 3 back under a blanket as Devin Bucciano dives down to the inside of Tyler Aspinall. He's trying to take away that second spot. Off of turn number 2, Aspinall able to use that high lane like we've seen Morris do tonight. Stay out in front of Bucciano, as now Bucciano is going to be able to drive it all the way down to the bottom. He's going to try to pull underneath Eddie Morris. Now we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Devin Bucciano, the meat of the sandwich, going for the lead. Tyler Aspinall on the bottom. Eddie Morris up on the high side. Devin Bucciano is going to take over the lead here on lap number 83. And Eddie Morris is going to move back to that high side, see if he can find the magic that he had in the first stage. Don't forget, we're still about 20 to 30 laps away from seeing pit stops. Most of these drivers are going to want tires before they need fuel. A little further back, Matthew Fritz going around the outside of Mike Moultrie. It looks like Moultrie is going to make his way down onto pit road. We were saying it's going to be a few laps before pit stops start, but it looks like your first driver onto pit road will be the 24 of Mike Moultrie. Tyler Aspinall making a look down to the inside of Eddie Morris. Morris again using that high lane to prevail up on the high side. As more drivers are down on pit road, we see the 9 of Riley Gomes also down on pit road getting tires in service. So I'll turn on the pit road ticker down on the bottom. The way that works, if it's your first race with us here tonight, the timer on the left, that's how long they've been on the pit road. When you see the word pit flashing, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it's pit solid like it is now, that means they're sitting in their pit stall. And once that pit turns into a time, that's how long they spent stationary in the pits. It looks like Riley Gomes with a long pit stop of 55.4. He might have been caught speeding coming on the pit road, and that's why I think he had such a long stay on pit road, as Devin Bucciano has now pulled out to almost a 1.5 second lead over Eddie Morris, who's still battling with Tyler Aspinall. This battle continues here between the 45 and the 8. Aspinall still working that low lane, trying to get by the 8 of Eddie Morris. Couple playoff drivers trying to get a win here to lock themselves into the next round. Aspinall able to slide now in front of Eddie Morris, so move the 45 up into the second position as Eddie Morris now tries to cross over Aspinall down into turn number 1. Couple drivers coming off pit road. Ryan Gomes and Brett Merle making their way off of pit road right in front of our leaders. As Devin Butchnow's lead now just over a second, but has some lap traffic in front of him. Looks like the lap traffic, though, is on new tires, so they are pulling away. But they're also battling here. You see Brett Merle and Ryan Gomes. This is a battle for 15th and 16th. As Gomes, gets a little loose there off the corner, goes sliding down through the grass. Keeps it off of the racetrack, able to get that truck righted in the right direction. So no caution. As we see Nick Fuller in the 14 making his way down pit road into his stall. That was a great save for Ryan Gomes, who was completely sideways there right in front of the leaders. Able to lock it down, keep it off the inside wall. Really no harm, no foul other than track position. As Devin Butchnow continues to lead this race as we are coming to 50 laps to go, but Tyler Aspinall eating into that lead, running down the driver of the 68. Again, pit stops still in the future for most of these drivers. As Devin Butchnow comes up on the lap truck of Richard Hurst. Hurst going to drop all the way down to the bottom. Almost washes up the truck. Almost catches Devin Butchnow. And I don't know if Hurst was trying to pit there or not. He just caught the inside wall. Looks like Hurst was trying to make his way down. Yeah, you see that wheel cranked. He was trying to make his way down on the pit road and was not able to. As now Devin Butchnow is going to make his way down the pit road. Almost catches the sand barrels at the end of pit road. Eddie Morris on pit road. Daniel Wiles on pit road. See Michael Provolt, Chuck Balance coming to pit road. Brian Merle Jr. on pit road. That's going to put Tyler Aspinall out in front. And now Aspinall is going to make his way down on the pit road. That's going to give the lead of the race to Matthew Fritz, who's going to get a bonus point here for leading a lap. You see the fresh tires right behind him. Fritz is going to stay right up against the outside wall, let the fresh tires on through. And I have confirmed that the Riley Gomes truck, the 9 of Riley Gomes, did speed on pit road. That's why he had the stop or the long hold on pit road. Fortunately for him, it looks like that's going to pretty much eliminate him from this race, and he's going to be in a must-win situation next week at Nashville Super Speedway. So Matthew Fritz still out front. Joseph Wright sits back in the second spot. Brandon Zimmerman back in third. Blaze Richardson, haven't really talked about him tonight. He's back in fourth. And they are the only drivers who have not made their way down onto pit road yet, as Matthew Fritz now hits pit road, and Brandon Zimmerman's going to lead a lap. So that'll be a bonus point for the driver of the 65. See Chuck Balance taking a look down to the inside of Joseph Wright. Of course, Wright on old tires. Chuck is on fresher tires. Matthew Fritz, left side's going on that truck. He is down and away. As Zimmerman stays out here, he's trying to catch a caution. That's what he's hoping for right now, is a caution. That'll bring everybody back down pit road. Oh, almost has issues there with the 41 now. Zimmerman making his way down onto pit road as the battle for the lead between what will be the lead when everybody comes around and pits. That's Devin Butchino and Tyler Aspinall as they are running down the lap truck of Charles Balance here. And I say this is going to be the battle for the lead because Mike Moultrie is currently out in front of these two, currently running in the third position, but he is 8.5 seconds back and he is falling fast. Last time by, Moultrie ran a 22.9 and Nick Fuller ran a 22.2. Devin Butchino ran a 22.10. So almost a half a second quicker are these drivers, and they're battling side by side. They're not even running their own race right now. They are battling side by side as we see Butchino catches the wall just a little bit as Chuck Balance was out of control right in front of him, almost collected your leaders here. As Blaze Richardson now making his way down on the pit road. That's going to be the last truck that needs the pit. The first truck that was on pit road is the 25 of Mike Moultrie. When you look at your lap times here, you can see that, well, it still shows Blaze Richardson currently in second. We'll wait for that to cycle through. So there you go. You see just how much quicker Fuller and Butchino are running than this 24, and you can see it on track there as Brandon Zimmerman goes by to unlap himself from your leader. And these two still running just about a half a second quicker, or slower, as they're battling side by side still. Tyler Aspinall almost washes up the track into the side of Devin Butchino. It's a great battle for what will probably be the second spot on the podium currently, because Nick Fuller is out in front, but he's losing ground. Issues for Blaze Richardson, just looped it around down into the grass on the front stretch on cold tires. Able to get that looped back around though. And we stay green as Mike Moultrie now. That lead has shrunk down to 3 seconds as the battle for this, what will be second place when this all cycles through. So you see the 24 Moultrie still out in front. That lead is now 2.5 seconds over second place Nick Fuller. Nick Fuller, though, he's getting run down by these two. His teammate right behind, Tyler Aspinall. The way this is going to be a thrilling finish as we are coming to 30 laps to go. Brandon Zimmerman in a bit of a battle here as well. He's running down the 95 of Michael Provolt. He's got his teammate right there as well, as you see. Riley Gomes going to pull down to the inside. Here comes Zimmerman looking down to the inside of Provolt. That is one more point. And with the 2 races before the playoff, or before the next round of the playoffs, every point can matter. And we're seeing that right now as Brandon Zimmerman has moved himself up into the 9th position. Well, Nick Fuller's teammate, Tyler Aspinall, has now closed that gap to just under a half a second. You see the difference between these two drivers' tires, just about 5 laps, but the fresher tires are prevailing here. As Fuller's been able to run down his teammate, plus they have the lap truck of Ryan Gomes right in front to contend with as well. The question is, does Fuller just pull over and let his teammate by, who's obviously a little bit quicker? Or does he try to put up a little bit of a battle here? Here comes Aspinall down to the inside, and looks like his teammate's going to try to race him here off of turn number 4. And yet again, we're seeing that high lane working a little bit better than that low lane, trying to keep that driver pinned down. We are quickly approaching 25 laps to go. Mike Moultrie out in front, but Tyler Aspinall running down that 24, who just got around the 31 of Jay Stinson. Stinson is multiple laps down. He's about 5 laps down on fresher tires right now. Trying to work down underneath, get one of those laps back, and he will get a lap back. But look who is now in the picture, as Tyler Aspinall, Devin Butchino, and Nick Fuller are right there behind the 24 of Mike Moultrie. Look at the ground that Aspinall is able to gain on Moultrie into the corner, and he is there. Tyler Aspinall, it's not going to be much of a fight. Working down to the inside. And he is easily going to take over that top spot. Now Devin Butchino going to look down to the inside to get around Moultrie as well. Now Mike Moultrie is going to fall back into third, and here comes Nick Fuller trying to join this party as well. So 21 laps to go. Tyler Aspinall out in front. Devin Butchino sits back in second. Mike Moultrie falls back into the third position. Nick Fuller back and forth. And Eddie Morris, who led most of the first part of this race. Now finds himself back in the 5th position. Of course, we do have the new asphalt model here on iRacing, so it could be just as much as the track changing and Eddie not being able to stay ahead of the track changes. As we got a little bit of a battle heating up here for the lead. Devin Bucciano staying right there on the back bumper of Tyler Aspinall as we have 19 laps to go. Nose to tail, our top two are as Nick Fuller now battling side by side with the 24 Moultrie. And Nick Fuller is going to take over that 3rd spot, so put him on the podium as we see Moultrie catch the outside wall just a little bit. And Eddie Morris, Matthew Fritz, this is a battle for the 5th position. So as we come close to 15 laps to go, you can see up on the leaderboard where all the playoff drivers are. Currently, your top 3 positions are all playoff drivers. And 15 laps to go. Blaze Richardson able to gain a spot here, get around Chuck Ballins and move himself up into the 14th spot. Now he's running down his teammate Ryan Gomes, and Richardson trying to advance on to the next round, trying to gain as many points as he can before Nashville Superspeedway. This battle for 5th is continuing here as Eddie Morris just holding off Matthew Fritz for the time being, but Fritz been just a little bit faster the last couple laps. But just has not found an opportunity to get around this 8 machine of Eddie Morris. Meanwhile, up front, Tyler Aspinall starting to pull away from Devin Bucciano just a little bit. The gap is now 0.3 of a second. As last time by, Aspinall ran in 87, Bucciano ran in 85, so pretty much identical times for these two. That time, Butch was still just a little bit quicker. But it hasn't really been enough to translate onto the racetrack. As Bucciano still able to latch on to the back bumper of Tyler Aspinall as we are quickly coming to 10 laps to go. As you know, it's one thing to run a driver down and get to his back bumper. It's another thing to get by him, especially here at Richmond, where we've seen tonight it is so difficult to pass. Question is, will that back bumper or that front bumper be involved in the pass? As we have less than 10 laps to go here at Richmond to settle our first race of the playoffs and lock our first driver into the next round. Aspinall and Bucciano having to deal with some lap traffic. They're going to dispatch the 11 of Brett Merle as they come down towards turn number 3. And 8 laps to go. Devin Bucciano lost a little bit of ground there, getting around the lap truck. Gives Tyler Aspinall a little bit of breathing room for now. But there are more lap traffic out in front. As Matthew Fritz has now gotten around Eddie Morris, move himself up. Now they're still battling side by side. Morris trying to hold on to that 5th spot. Fritz is trying to take it as we have 7 laps to go. Six laps to go off of turn number 4. Devin Buccino, catches the outside wall. That truck was sliding out of control off of turn number 4. We saw it. He was giving it everything he had. Fortunately, heavy damage to the right side of that 68. That's going to give Tyler Aspinall all the breathing room he needs as we are coming to 5 laps to go. The only thing Aspinall doesn't want to see at this point is a yellow. As he's lost a couple races this season due to yellow flags. Now he finds himself out in front, coming to 4 laps to go. Tyler Aspinall down the backstretch, just 3.5 more laps before he clinches his spot in the next round of the playoffs. Just 3 to go here now as Devin Buccino, again, succumbing to that damage. Looks like he's got quite a bit of damage to the right side of that truck. I don't think that truck is handling anywhere near where he wants it to. You see him turn down into the corner, and yeah, you hear him working that throttle and putting a lot of wheel into it. Unfortunately, that is not what you want to see when you're the driver trying to chase down the leader. But we've just 2 laps to go here tonight at Richmond. Off of turn number 2, Tyler Aspinall with a healthy lead, just over a second. Nick Fuller runs back in 3rd, but he is 5 seconds behind our leaders, and he is pulling away from Mike Moultrie. The battle for 5th is still continuing as the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Tyler Aspinall does not have to worry about any more yellows as the yellow flag has been put away as Tyler Aspinall comes down the backstretch. Half a lap to go. Down into turn number 3. And settling on cruise control as Tyler Aspinall is going to make his way across the line. And Tyler Aspinall is going to win it here tonight at Richmond. Devin Buccino going to come home 2nd. Nick Fuller back in the 3rd spot. Mike Moultrie back in 4th, and Eddie Morris rounds out your top 5 as the fireworks fly here tonight at Richmond. And our top 3 going to make their way down to the start-finish line. Tyler Aspinall is going to burn it down here on the front stretch. And he is going to lock himself into the round of 8 here tonight at Richmond International Raceway. Let's take a look at our results here tonight. Tyler continues to burn down on the front stretch. Again, Tyler Aspinall, your winner. Devin Buccino brings it home 2nd. Nick Fuller back in 3rd. Mike Moultrie and Eddie Morris round out your top 5. Matthew Fritz brings it home 6th. Brandon Zimmerman back in 7th. Joseph Wright 8th. Brandon Zimmerman 8th. Joseph Wright 9th. And Michael Provolt round out your top 10. Brian Merle Jr. brings it home in 11th. 12th will be Brett Merle. Blaze Richardson back in 13th. Chuck Balance 14th. Ryan Gomes back in 15th. Riley Gomes 16th. Jason Stinson, Richard Hurst, David Wright, and Nick Ford round out the rest of the field here tonight as teammates burning it down on the front stretch. Tyler is a happy man, locking himself into the next round of the playoffs. Doesn't have to worry about anything next week at Nashville Super Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top three. Let's get our camera set up and we'll pull in our third place finisher, Nick Fuller. Nick, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Whoops. Nick, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, copy.
Man, what a great run for you and Tyler here tonight. Teammates coming home first and third. That's always a great feeling, especially here in the playoffs. Talk about that last run there. You saw Mike Moutre came in really early, and you all were able to run him down. Did that kind of surprise you that he pit as early as he did? And what was the strategy that you guys had in your mind coming into tonight?
Yeah, I was surprised that he came a little early. I was thinking split that in half, which I think running it out a little further than splitting it in half was the play. Because I told Tyler I'm coming in at 95. I think he said I'm going to go 105, and then I had nothing left, and I probably just ran it a little too hard at the end there, but it still kind of worked out. I think I pitted like fifth, and it ended up third, and those guys battled it out. It was all in all good opening race of the playoffs.
And that's the thing, being into the playoffs here, leading some laps, getting the points here tonight. Knowing that next week we're moving to Nashville Super Speedway, which is another track that kind of runs similar to this, kind of hard to pass. Did that kind of play into your strategy, how you ran here tonight, just trying to get a good points night to try to move on to the round of 8?
Not so much worrying about the next race. Just focusing on this one. Nashville Speedway is it's a tricky track. But I think it'll be long green flag runs, I would imagine. So something that usually I prefer. So instead of a caution fest that anything can happen. So usually pretty good for those, and I'll be excited to run it.
Yeah, for sure. And especially Richmond's one of those racetracks that can either caution fest or long green flag runs. And fortunately, we saw the latter here tonight. So again, congratulations, Nick, on the third place finish. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
Oh, so I want to give a special thanks to Tyler for throwing on my banner right before, because he makes that paint. So shout out to him for making the paint for me. I was he threw the banner on, we're good to go, and come out 1-3. So that's the way we do it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. Good luck next week in Nashville, and or next week or the week after. I think it's 2 weeks because we have a little break for the holiday, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. I guess it will be next year at Nashville Super Speedway.
Sounds good. See you there.
Have a great night.
Bye.
So that was your third place finisher, Nick Fuller. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Devin Butchino. Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
Man, I know that one is a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. Had a fast truck there, battling hard with Aspinall, and then it looks like you pushed just a little hard, caught that outside wall. Did that kind of kill your chances, or were you just pushing too hard and burning your stuff up there at the end anyways?
Yeah, I was just telling him I don't think I would have been able to do anything without moving him there, and definitely didn't want to do that. I mean, we had a second half lead coming to that last pit stop there, and something happened in front of us. We had to just lap cars. We lost about a half a second, and we got out in front of him, and he was right on us, and took the top and drove a little defensive a couple times, but I just didn't want to burn my stuff up, so I let him go, hoping he would burn his stuff up. But we were just so even. Every once in a while, when the spotter set our lap times, it was like, it was within hundreds of each other. So, I after Gateway, man, I definitely didn't want to move the guy. Just not the way I'd want to get a win, because it was a good point stay, and you know how iRacing can be. Sometimes you go to give a guy a shot and you loop right with him. So, definitely not the way I would have wanted to win that. But congrats to Tyler. It's he was owed one from Gateway for sure.
Yeah, and the one thing I was saying, kind of towards the end there, I know you were probably kind of hoping a little bit for a caution there at the end, probably with a 10-lap shootout or something, because I know you want to come down pit road and take tires to have one more shot. Were you kind of surprised that the race went as clean as it did? I mean, I know there's only 20 trucks on the track, but Richmond can be, an evil track at times. So talk us through the strategy if that caution was going to come out at the end.
No, you can ask the Neon guys. When we had that caution on lap one, Eddie was like, "Here we go," and I'm like, "Yeah, but we're gonna get our cautions out of the way and go green after the stage," and that's just what we did. Um, I actually didn't want to see a caution. It's one of those things where is it worth restarting second and getting shuffled back? Because we didn't. I don't think we really had the short run speed. We really needed the long runs for the truck to come to. We had really good tire wear on the right front, but right before the stage, we were closing up to Eddie and Tyler there at the end of the stage, and we were able to get our way to the front before the pit stop, and I think it was just the track position, man. He had the spot, and the one time I'm going to say no. We got third in the stage, second in the race. I was okay with, we're points racing again, Josh. So it's, do I want the win? Yes. Am I happy with the second place finish? Also, yes. So.
Well, next year we move on to Nashville Super Speedway, another track where it's tough to pass. What's your strategy going to be there, trying to move yourself into the round of 8?
I'm really excited for it. It's definitely one that's been circled on my calendar, believe it or not. We got a couple Xfinity wins there. The speed hasn't exactly translated in the trucks. I know we've run top 5 there. So it's a tough track. It's one of the more technical mile and a halves. So I'm excited to get out there and see. It normally puts on good racing. I like the way it drives. It's a little flatter, which I enjoy. So it should be a good race.
Well, again, awesome job here tonight, coming home second place. We want to wish you a happy holidays, and we'll see you next year. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, same to you, Josh. I appreciate it. Well, even though I'll see you tomorrow, I'll tell you again. I'll tell you now. Shout out to you for doing this, everyone at Intensity, for doing our Tuesdays for us. We really appreciate it. Shout out to Hartney for race controlling. We really appreciate him doing that, keeping that fluid, smooth for us. Dev Sports Cards, Blue Ridge Auto Group for sponsoring the series, Morris Customs, Level Up Subs, New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design, and everyone that makes this league what it is, man. This late in the season, we got 20 guys strong going. Beginning of that race was crazy, so I hope we put on a good one for you guys.
Yeah, that was an awesome race, especially coming to the stage. So I'm looking forward to seeing the same thing next week at Nashville Super Speedway, or 2 weeks from now, excuse me, at Nashville Super Speedway. So, Devin, have yourself a good one. We'll talk to you again soon.
See you tomorrow, brother.
Have a good night.
You too.
So that was your second place finish, Devin and Butchino. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Tyler Aspinall, getting the win. Tyler, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yep, I got you, man.
Man, what a run here tonight. That was well-deserved after the incident at Gateway. I know coming to the end of that race, you must have been thinking in the back of your mind, man, when's it going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to take me out of this one? But everything fell in place, and you're able to get the win here tonight. Talk us through what was going through your mind there that last run.
Yeah, that last run, I just kept thinking, like, all right, where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? Because I was just waiting for it to happen. Devin was right on me for the longest time, and I will say that is probably the hardest I've ever had to fight for a win. So good job to Devin. He ran one hell of a race there. Michael, too, he had a really, really different strategy that kind of put him up there, but I think that was too big of an undercut. Yeah, that was just... I've been good at Richmond in the past. I've won league races at Richmond in the past, and I had a good feeling coming into tonight, and I guess that feeling was true.
Yeah, it kind of makes up for the heartbreak a couple weeks ago at Gateway. I hate throwing salt in that wound, but we got to bring that up, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
talk us through the strategy here tonight. You and Eddie Morris there in that first run, he was able to roll that high side so much better to stay out in front of you. What did you learn from racing him that helped you there at the end battling with Butchino?
That the stage only lasted 40 laps, and that's about all the high side was good for. Just run your tires right after lap 40. So I knew the low side was going to be strong coming into night in terms of saving tires, and that kind of showed after 40 laps into a run. But it was really good for defense, I will say, but it was more of an arc line that really got everything done tonight. Yeah.
Well, you get your win. You're locked into the next round of the playoffs. That's always a good feeling there. I mean, 2 weeks from now, we move on to Nashville Super Speedway. I know you were locked in. Does that change the way you're going to run Nashville, or are you going to just go out there and run a good race? Because realistically, you could just run as hard as you can. It doesn't really matter where you finish.
I'm trophy hunting, buddy. I love Nashville, and I would love to win it. So I'm gonna go and try and do that.
Awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, Tyler, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
Yep. Yep, there goes my head. Giant Eagle, 4 O'Clock Media, anybody who's watching for me, Taylor, Mom, Grammy, Aunt Cherry, whoever's watching, thank you guys for watching. Nashville next week, hopefully we're going to be strong. Thank you, Josh, for putting on the show you do up here in the booth. Thank you to Devin and everybody else who runs this league. I do appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to I guess 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, next year we'll be running Nashville Super Speedway on the
Next
2nd.
year.
But yeah, it'll be next year. Believe it or not, I know time just flies by. But again, congratulations on your win, Tyler. Well deserved. I know it was a hard fought battle for you, and good luck in 2 weeks at Nashville.
Thanks, Josh. Have a good one, man.
You as well. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting here on iRacing from Nashville Super Speedway. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. I want to thank all of our great partners here tonight, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com. The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, check out our website over at intensitybroadcasting.com. Don't forget to check out our league sponsors as well, including Dev Sports Cars on eBay and Blue Ridge Auto Group at the link down below. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. On behalf of everybody here at Intensity Broadcasting and the SCSRA, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays to whatever holidays you celebrate this winter. And we will see you next year after the new year from Nashville Super Speedway. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.